This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the spring formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we are speaking with business strategist Martha Krejci. And let me just tell you a little bit about Martha. She's a high-vibin mama, wife, business coach, and growth strategist and social media marketing powerhouse who is taking the internet by storm. Featured in Oprah Magazine, Fast Company, Cosmopolitan, Shape, and the Huffington Post, among many other places. Martha's intuitive marketing expertise has helped her make her first million in less than a year using a strategy she teaches openly through courses, group coaching, and other tried and true resources. From finding your passion to building a business that works, she teaches it all to anyone that's ready. And when you visit our post on www.brilliancepluspassion.com, you'll see Martha's full biography, including some links that will help you find some of her resources and what she shares with the world. So, Martha, welcome aboard. It's so much fun to have you here today already.
Oh my gosh, I'm thrilled. You guys didn't get to see this or hear this, but I got to see the cats. All right. So I got to see one. I got to see one of the cats. So I'm just saying I'm already honored.
Yeah, you saw Princess Stella. And before we get going here, Princess Alessandra has in fact joined us.
Oh, see?
She doesn't like to be held. She just likes to interrupt. So this might be about all we get out of her. Oh no, she's doing pretty good. No kitty kisses. Maybe later. There we go. There we go. Go sit in your supervisory perch. All right. So first question for you, Martha. How does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the community at large?
It shows them and reminds them of why they're here on the planet in the first place. So whenever people understand why they're here in the first place, then they're able to have that ripple effect out into the world. Whenever somebody stands confidently in their own purpose, regardless of what it is, right? When they can stand confidently in their own purpose, then that gives other people that you're viewing that the ability to do the same in their own.
That's fantastic. So in your own words, what is it that you actually do, just so our listeners can understand?
Yeah, I'm a business strategist by trade. That's what I do. But what I focus on now is I focus on families and being able to teach families how to grow multiple income streams from home, utilizing stuff that they already know and stuff that they usually already do. They just don't know how to monetize it. And it's all in service. So it's never salesy, sleazy, and weird.
So including the kids.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very rural area, which means there were very few houses around. And I had what passed for a grass cutting business. There were only 3 yards within the distance through which I could even push that little lawnmower. So I gobbled them all up. I remember when I turned 16, I couldn't wait to get my driver's license so I could get a job. I ended up working at Wendy's for 5 years, and it informed some of my business strategies I share with my own clients to this day. However, I noticed when I was a student at Penn State and I was doing my political science major, because I had the idea at the time I was going to become an attorney and go to law school and all that, spent a lot of my time in the computer lab. Yes, I'm dating myself with the phrase computer lab. Looking at some of the early e-commerce websites in the industry of competition auto sound, because I was in the midst of building a system for my Camaro. And I saw these outlets that sold these custom kick panels that were used to create the opera stage and different enclosure for subwoofers and amplifiers. And I was getting educated on all this stuff that even once I came to understand things like ohms and wire gauges and bandpass effects, I still don't know how to relate that to trigonometry.
My husband has a ZL1, by the way. We
Ooh.
Yeah, we're a Chevy family.
Nice. Yeah, my first car was a 1988 Camaro. It was the base model. It was the only year that the ground effects said Camaro rather than something else. It was the base model, and it had the upgraded 305.
Oh, nice.
I know, almost exciting. It was probably one of the last years that used the throttle body injection rather than the tune port at that model, but it did have the 700 R4. See, I think you know what I'm talking about when I say all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Classics.
I'm tracking with you a little bit, just enough to know how cool that is.
Yeah. As soon as I pulled that thing up, first question people asked was, well, where are the T-tops? I was building a system car. I don't need people doing this and jacking my amps.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So in your experience, what are a few of the most common questions that people have when they're working through their process of deciding to work with you?
Can I really do this? Because a lot of times the people that I'm talking to are people that have never given themselves a shot ever in life. And it's just simply because they've succumbed to the grand narrative that you go to work 9 to 5 for 40 years, and then you might get to retire and you might get to do things that you want to do, but you're a part of the system, and they've never really thought outside of the box or really expanded their mind into thinking that they can be creating income streams from home as themselves, not watching somebody else doing it, but actually doing it themselves. So the biggest question is, can I really do this? And the answer is yes. And then I get to watch people actually do it.
Yeah. The reason we went on a little tangent is I was trying to figure out how to make money in competition auto sound myself. And I was told, just get a job. You're not going to get rich that way. It's a get rich quick scheme. It's the internet. Nobody does that. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, rewind to 1996 and compare it to today, and holy moly. Now, what are some questions you wish people would ask you?
Oh, man. I wish people would ask me what I do in my free time, because it's napping. I take a lot of naps.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Like I like to play tennis and then, and not well at all. Okay.
Right.
I just like to play, and volleyball and stuff like that. And I hang out with my daughter, but that's the kind of questions that I want people to ask me, stuff that isn't about business, but I understand that I'm a strategist, right? Like they're going to want to know stuff about business, but like sometimes I'm like, why don't you ask me what my favorite color is,
Okay, it's not part of the official set of questions that we ask people, but I'll squeeze one in because we have an extra minute here or two. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Okay.
I love it.
Years ago, I owned a web development firm, and we had this one client. God love them. They did the branding exercise where they, got their color swatches and everything, and turned it over to us so we could create the website. And the project was held up from going live for a month and a half because they kept insisting that we didn't get the purple right. I filmed multiple videos where I walked through the WordPress theme's configuration settings, went to every single one where we set it to where the purple was supposed to be. I went so far as to create video documentation of their source code viewed through a browser so they could see within the CSS file that it was that hex code for the purple. They paid other consultants to analyze the website and then tell us what we were doing wrong. And then they got upset when these consultants told us we were doing it right. You know what the issue ultimately was that held up their website launch for 6 weeks and probably denied them a client?
Their monitor.
Bingo!
I know web design.
All they had to do is turn that little button down there at the bottom, and it would have looked just like the purple they were expecting. I only raised that about 45 different times, including the 38 times I said, go look at your spouse's computer and see if it looks different on theirs.
Right. Yeah. Oh, people are funny.
Yeah, that's and I have many favorite colors: red, white, and blue, because those colors don't run. Purple, like a royal purple, because there's a branding purpose behind that. That crosses so many different genres and demographics. There's a real science behind it. And
Oh, that's cool.
orange, which is also my first favorite fruit.
Oh, I haven't had an
Yeah.
orange in forever. I had kiwis today, though. I had
Ooh.
2 kiwis. Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep along our little fun thing we're doing here, and tell me, what would people who know Martha Krejci be surprised to learn about her?
Oh, goodness. They would be surprised to know that every single time that I launch something, I still get in the puke zone. So there's
Yep.
this thing that I talk about, like with people, is the puke zone. It's like right when you launch something, or right when you're getting really excited about an idea and you think that it's going to be like a huge deal. It's like that. It's that glass ceiling, which is you're about to blast through the glass ceiling, and that's essentially the puke zone, like where you feel like you could throw up, but it's actually a really good thing, but you're really scared. All of that stuff together. That every time that I launch something, every single time I get in the puke zone, I don't last in it as long, but I still go there. And sometimes I goof up launches. And I actually goofed up a launch a couple months ago. I goofed up a launch, and then I went back and I showed my students what I did to goof it up. And then I went and I fixed it, and I showed them how I fixed it, because I like to be transparent and show people precisely, like, if I just tripped over my shoelaces, I want you to see what I did so you don't do that. And then I want you to see how I fixed it so you can do that instead, right? And so that's, I always enter the puke zone and I still goof up. So
and this is why I share that as podcast hosts, and I know you're a podcast host yourself, that we are the voice of our audience. We say the things that they can't or won't. So sometimes I will share stories about my experiences or things that have happened that don't necessarily put me in the best light. In fact, sometimes I come out looking like a real bastard. But the reason I do it is because I want people to recognize that I'm relatable. I go through the same stuff that everybody else does. Yeah. And if I can share the lessons I gain from that and point out that pothole to you, maybe you'll be able to swerve around it, or maybe you'll show up with some gravel and fill it in so you don't bust a wheel in it.
I love that. That's a really good visual for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
Oh, man. I just hope they say they love me. I hope they say that I helped them in some way. That's all that matters to me. That I help them see their own worth and their own. That's all that I'm here for. Like, it's as simple as that. I mean, multiple income streams from home, yes, but you do that because of your belief in yourself first.
Right.
And so that's what I would love for them to say.
Yep. And if you could go back in time and change something you've done or something you've experienced, what would it be and why?
I'm doing this answer. I'm doing it. Okay. So overall, I'm going to say this. Overall, I'm going to say I wouldn't change a thing because it brought me to precisely where I am, right? Like, that's the answer. But then also there was this grease pig contest that I was in once, and I would have worn different pants. I would have still done it, but I would have worn different pants.
Yeah. So what famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet? And what questions would you have for them if you had the opportunity?
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Alive or dead? This one's so hard. Did you say celebrity?
Famous person. You can, I think, interpret that however you want.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say my dad. He's famous to me. I lost him 8 years ago, and I would love to have a conversation with him. And I want to know his opinion of what's going on in my life right now. Because it's just, I know he's proud of me. I know he would be proud of me. I just want to hear it.
Yeah. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
My daughter, 100%. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I'm representing what is possible to her in every step that I take along the way. I'm always super hyper focused on what does this show her that she's able to do now? So anytime if I'm feeling down and out, or if I'm, having a rough day, I focus on her, and I'm like, is this something I want her to be doing? Like if she, feeling down and out, do I want her to just wallow in things, or do I want her to find joy in something instead? So it's always like I'm modeling behavior to her. So that's where I'm looking back.
My parents always told me never to swear. Well, God damn it, that didn't work out.
I knew that was coming.
because they modeled, and this is something that came through the patterns of both sides of the family, swearing like sailors, basically. And I've even found ways to adapt it, just like you just saw right there, a pattern interrupt. You're thinking, whoa, he said that. It's like that. It's like that quote that's been attributed to George S. Patton, but hasn't actually been proven, where he allegedly told a nun that he read the Bible every goddamn day. You could see that in his character to say something like that, just because of the nature of how he communicated. But we don't know if he actually said that or not. But we see things like that, and they create these pattern interrupts that cause us to say, whoa, what I just miss?
Yeah.
So finally, I know you have an invitation for our listeners, and I actually will share that with them for you. But in general, right now, what is one action you would love our listeners to take as soon as they finish streaming this episode?
Oh, goodness. Well, I have a YouTube channel, so I would definitely check out the YouTube channel. And that is just looking up Martha Krejci, and it's just a lot of consonants. You could probably just do a facepalm into your keyboard and make it to my YouTube channel. It was probably how you would get there. So that, and then also my website withmartha.com, and all of the things the thing that you're about to share.
Right. Well, the actual invitation for our listeners is, if you are on our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com streaming this episode, you will see a banner appear on the screen presently. You can also look down in the show notes, and you will see it there as well. So it is, I'll read it out loud one time for the people who are out jogging, but you're just going to have to subscribe and replay this if you don't get it the first time. It's MarthaEKrejci.com/toll. And I best spell that. MarthaEKrejci.com/toll. And this is a really interesting one. I had a chance to check it out. It's basically an ebook that is all about living the dream and some of the things that we've shared on this interview today. I'm going to go pick it up for myself, and I think everybody else should do so as well. So with that, Martha Krejci, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, an education.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.